Welcome to the Blogger Genius Podcast, brought to you by MiloTree. Here's your host, Jillian Leslie.
Hello, my friends. Welcome back to the Blogger Genius Podcast. I am your host, Jillian Leslie. I'm so glad you're joining me. So I am a blogger and a serial entrepreneur. I started my entrepreneurial journey in 2009 when my husband and I created Catch My Party. We've grown it into the largest party ideas site on the web. If you need party ideas, free printables, head over there. Next, we built our pop-up app that so many of you use to effortlessly grow your followers on social media, including TikTok and Instagram and all of the platforms, plus your email list. And you can check that out at MiloTree.com. Plus, we now have launched our payment tool built for people who hate technology called MiloTreeCart, and it is the easiest way for creators to sell digital products. So anything from a digital download to a paid membership, a workshop, coaching, anything you can deliver digitally, you can sell with MiloTreeCart. For you bloggers and content creators, you know AI content is real. And so your job now is to compete with it successfully. I recommend the way you do this is by showing up as a human and selling digital products where people get to know you, get to know your offers. Building that one-on-one relationship with them is so valuable. I want to share what I'm learning as I get on calls with people who want to start selling their own products and services, but have some resistance. And the main piece of feedback I get is they say, I tried selling a digital product. I spent months creating a course. I wrote a really great ebook. I put together a paid workshop. I got no sales. I spent a lot of time creating it. It didn't work. Digital products don't work for somebody like me. And what I say is, the word is yet. Because selling digital products is all about trial and error. It's all about making products, different kinds of products, and putting them up there and iterating and learning and testing. And that is how you have success. And then once you do, I call it finding specks of gold. You dig deeper and you create more. And that is our whole philosophy with MiloTreeCart. It is not an expensive platform. We're selling it right now to our founding customers for $349 as a lifetime deal. Own it forever. People love buying it this way because it's like an asset. And now they can move quickly. They can create products, put them up there, use our free sales pages, use our marketing materials, go, 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 because it's only by having lots of at-bats do you find gold. And if you do this, you will find gold. With MiloTreeCart, you can be selling your first product in 10 minutes. If you want to find out if this is real, get on a 15-minute call with me. Go to milotree.com/meet, and I promise I will not waste your time. For today's episode, I have my friend Lauren Litt on the podcast. She is a social media coach. Her company is called Little Shameless Plug. What I love about her is that she helps people with social media anxiety get real results. What I think is great about this episode is that Lauren normalizes social media anxiety. I know I suffer from it. So given that we're all kind of freaked out, Lauren gives real tips, real ways to think about showing up with a lot of impact so that you don't have to show up all the time, and why it can move the needle for your business. I think you're going to like this episode because it's kind of like a state of the union on what is working today in social media. So without further delay, here is my interview with Lauren Litt. Lauren, welcome to the Blogger Genius Podcast.
Jillian, thank you so much for having me. I am really excited to be on your podcast and really excited to be speaking to your audience because they do such great work, and to be able to help them share their blogs and all the things that they're putting into social media is just great. So happy to be here.
Oh, great. Well, will you then share your background? I know a little bit about it, and kind of how you got to where you are now and what you do.
Yeah. Well, I started my company, Little Shameless Plug, because I'm an actor and I simply couldn't wait any more tables. I was absolutely done serving people their, hamburgers and Cokes and fries, and I actually been fired. So I decided that I needed to find a job where I could use my creativity And as an actor, I act because I want to tell stories to the world to help create empathy.
Mm.
And so I kind of fell into social media because of that, because there is this way that we can lift up our voices and share our different stories to bring us together as a community. So that's kind of the reason why I fell into social media. And I started Little Shameless Plug almost 10 years ago now. And we are a full service social media management and marketing company for online. And I also do consulting. And so that's
So,
the
like,
very
who is
brief
an
journey.
ideal client right now that you serve?
So for the full service side of the business, it's really anyone who has an online business. We do support people who as well have brick and mortar, like an actual store, but those people are really specifically looking to create community within their niche. But if you are a coach, or if you are like we have lawyers, anyone who has kind of a shingle and needs to find their audience online, that's kind of ideal for us.
Great. So we were talking beforehand about AI and how that's going to change everything. That is a topic of conversation I keep touching on. But let's first, before we get there, I asked this question of you, and I just as like a quick lightning round. But let's say I know as a person, as an online entrepreneur, let's say I'm a blogger, let's say, I don't know, I'm a craft blogger, parenting blogger, whatever it is, food blogger. And I know I need to up my exposure on social media. So, but I look out at the landscape and there are all these different platforms and it feels really intimidating. Where do you recommend I start?
Okay. So the first thing I ask people is, who is your audience? Who are you looking to speak with? Because even though everyone is everywhere, right? Like we can find an 80-year-old grandma on TikTok if we want to, but you're going to probably find the majority of your audience on a specific platform. So if you are looking to speak to women in their 30s and 40s, you want to be on Instagram. If you're looking to speak to, more like men and women who are in 40s and 50s, Facebook is your space. TikTok's a younger audience, so 20s and 30s. And then
what about YouTube?
I was going to say YouTube. We are all over the map on YouTube, but y'all, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Pinterest are what I call my 3 secret converters because they have higher conversion rates than any of the other like social media platforms. And I'm saying those in quotes because technically YouTube and Pinterest are search engines. They're not social media platforms, but they are a fantastic way to rebuild your content and create community online. So YouTube is kind of all over the map, but I'm very excited about the things that are happening there, especially because they've just released their podcast feed. And if you have a podcast, please jump on YouTube and get that started right away.
Yes, I've done that.
Yes, good job. Good job.
But I always hear that YouTube, it's so hard to grow on YouTube. It takes so much effort. You have to be releasing consistently all the time with higher quality videos. And then I just recently read 75% of the YouTube audience is male.
Ooh, yay. I mean, that makes sense. There's a lot of nonsense on YouTube. Here's what I will say about that. If you are super excited about growing an audience in 30 days, you have the wrong mindset about marketing your business. Because I don't know anyone who is going to be putting 30 days into something and then it is going to be able to walk away. Your marketing is going to be around as long as you are in business. And I think most of us probably want more than a 30-day business. We're looking to actually have something that supports our lifestyles and is something that we can pour our creativity and joy into. And so social media marketing, any online marketing that you are going to approach is going to be a growth over time. And that is the way you're actually going to see success. There are a lot of programs. There are ways you can buy followers, quote unquote, on any platform pretty much, but that's not actually how you're going to see long-term success for your business. And I don't promote any of those ways that you can do that. So yes, YouTube's difficult, but it's also like they have shorts now. If you haven't played around with shorts, My social media is awful. So if anybody wants to see bad social media, go ahead and check out my own personal YouTube channel.
You're the manicurist with the bad nails.
With the bad nails, the doctor's kids are always sick. Yeah, the social media manager has terrible social media. But I kind of keep it bad on purpose because I want you to see with how little I do and how basic the stuff I do, the results I get. So I played around with a short for myself. We've been doing them for our clients for however long, a year now. But I put up a short recently and I got 3 subscribers in a week. Now, if you've been on YouTube, you know how hard it is to grow your subscriber base, right? Like it takes, as you were saying, it's a growth over time. And especially that first 6 months can be really difficult on YouTube specifically. 3 subscribers in a week from a 30-second short that I put out that, by the way, it's not like it was fabulously produced. It was a social media mantra that I shared that I normally share on Instagram.
What is the mantra? Wait. What's the mantra?
Let's see. I think at the time, it was, I think it might've been my do less more often. That, you don't have to be posting all the time, but you do need to be posting consistently. So I think that was the mantra that I had shared. I'm a little bit woo-woo, so I approach these things very much centered around how social media affects our hearts and how it affects our anxiety when we jump on these platforms. So that's why I put out these social media mantras occasionally. But yeah, like it wasn't anything. And I got 3 subscribers.
So what you're saying is, look at where your people are and be there. So for example, and I get this question a lot. Yeah, my audience is on Instagram, but I don't really like Instagram. Tell me your answer to that, and I'll tell you my answer.
Okay. Number 1, why don't you like Instagram is my question back to people. I was just in a social media magic session yesterday where I work with small companies, to consult with them. And neither the owner nor her VA were like, yeah, we don't like Instagram, but we know this is the space we need to be. And they didn't like it for very different reasons. One of them said, I feel overwhelmed. And if your answer is, I feel overwhelmed, it's a twofold thing. 1, you need to get a little bit more educated about the platform. And 2, you're probably suffering from a crash of dopamine when you get on there because it is so fast and our brains are literally being pumped, when you're on that platform. So we need to talk about grounding habits for you. We need to talk about protecting yourself and protecting your energy when you're on the platform, if that's how you feel. The other person didn't like it because she said, it just feels inauthentic. It feels like everybody's just kind of fake. And I said, okay, well, what if we were able to focus on real conversations? And then we had a conversation about who she actually wants to contact and what that looks like. You don't need 10,000 followers on Instagram to have a small business. If you're running a business that you want it to be, 100,000, 150,000 a year, you can do that with 1,000 followers, with 500 followers. Again, I have 600 followers on my Instagram profile and I have a multi 6-figure business. So it doesn't mean anything. It means we can have real conversations and we can have real authenticity. So,
okay, my response, you're much nicer than me because I was just going to say, your audience is on Instagram. You don't like Instagram. You got to get on Instagram. Like, it's kind of like this is what I typically say to people. Like in blogging, for example, they'll be like, yeah, I know you're saying pick a lane, like niche down, but like that feels too confining for me. And I say, well, cool. Then go write about what you want. But if you want to grow a business, then I would say niche down and really focus on that niche. Otherwise, go be you, but don't expect to be making money. If you need to put this out into the world because this is your authentic self, go do that. However, running businesses is hard. Running businesses means you do stuff you don't want to do
all the time. Yeah. And the thing is,
I'm the tough lover. I'm doing
you're the tough lover. But so here's the not so secret about me is I actually don't like social media. I have, as an actor, I was doxxed, many, many years ago, and I had sworn off social media. So I know how dangerous it can be. And that's why I specifically help people who don't like social media, but know they need it for their business. Because there are ways you can use this platform. There are ways you can protect yourself and jump on there. And I don't think it's as easy as saying, well, just do it. Because there's probably a reason back in your brain that it's like, no, we got to protect you from that. You can't be on there. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why I have the answer I have, because I specifically help people who are like, yeah, this isn't for me. Because I think those are truly the people too who have the most important messages to share. You
Mm.
know, when you have a special reason, you know, if you're looking to help the world in some way, sometimes people get real protective and close about that. And they don't go on social media because they're like, well, it's fake or it's not authentic or I just don't like it. It's like, no, it's because you have this special message that you need to share. You need to share your voice with the world because y'all, we need it right now. Like the world is hurting. And if you have that thing inside of you, if you have the thing inside of you that has been so strong that you've actually created a business around it, because as you said, it's so hard to be in business.
Mm.
We have to share that message. So we
Mm-hmm.
have to get your voice out there.
And the thing that I am really beating the drum for, and this is where kind of AI sneaks into my conversations, that like AI's here, and
Yeah.
as I say, you can't get the toothpaste back in the tube.
Mm-mm.
Therefore, the way that we were talking about this before I pressed record of like, hey, it's pretty powerful and it can really help you as a business owner. And you are now also competing with it. So
Mm-hmm.
what is the best way that I believe you can compete with it is by showing up authentically as a person. So it's no
Yes.
longer hiding behind your business, hiding behind your blog. It is, hey guys, this is who I am. And so it was funny. I was talking to some food bloggers yesterday, and as I'm sharing this, I could tell that I'm saying, hey, you know, especially food bloggers who are really good at keyword research, really good at photography, really good at making delicious food,
Mm-hmm.
are more kind of, I think, like up in their heads. They're not performers naturally.
Yeah. Yeah.
And therefore, but I'm saying, you know, I don't know if that's going to cut it longer term. I mean, I'm not saying traffic is going away to your blog, but I do think that this is going to be very disruptive. However, the one thing, a chatbot can't compete with a human being human.
Yes.
So therefore, I think
1,000%.
that is where, if this, you know, if you're uncomfortable, say showing up on Instagram, I would argue my audience is probably, their audiences are more on Instagram, maybe TikTok, well, maybe everywhere,
Yeah.
actually, Facebook, like, I don't know. But
Yeah.
as we are now in this place of, you've got to future-proof your business, and therefore being present as a human is now going to be more important. What do you say to that? And how do you recommend I don't burn out doing this?
Oh, so many things. So first I want to share, I went to college for political science. Clearly use it every day.
Of course.
But there was this study, and I don't even remember why this was part of it, but this is one of the things from college that I remember so clearly. There was a study done where all over the world, they went and they showed people pictures of human beings. And some of these people were celebrities, meaning, you know, world leaders, Mother Teresa, movie stars, whatever, very recognizable faces. And others were just random people thrown into this stack of photos. Every time the human saw a face it recognized, the brain lights up.
Mm.
And so speaking to your audience of like, well, I'm a food blogger, I don't want to show my face. We as humans are literally wired to get excited when we see someone's face we know. And so we have to use your face and your brand to connect with those other people that you actually want to talk to. So there is no hiding, you know, and if you're feeling scared about that, please reach out. I can help you. But one of the things I counsel people around is like, nobody cares. Like nobody really cares about you and the fact that like I haven't washed my hair for a week and it's up in a curly bun. Like people aren't really paying attention to that. You're listening to how can I help myself get online? And so when people are watching you, they're not really worried about you. They're worried about like, how are you helping me today? And so if you can focus on that, if you can focus on this is why I'm here and this is how I'm helping people and get that message to your food bloggers, like, this souffle that I've made is the best souffle in the world. And I need you to know exactly I don't know how to make a souffle, whip an egg. I don't know, but like, I need you to know exactly this thing. And so if you just focus on that message, you're going to find that your insecurity falls away. And also just to know Nobody likes how they sound and nobody likes how they look. Not a single person unless they're a narcissist. So if you don't like how you look or sound, congratulations. You're human.
You're healthy. Yes.
Yes.
I like that. I like that. It's funny because we're doing this on Zoom and I will go look at myself and I say this to myself, like, don't do that. Go look at Lauren. Do not look at yourself because I can find.
I look at you and I'm like, oh my God, I love your lipstick. You look so fabulous. Like, oh my gosh, these glasses. And then I'm looking at me and I'm like, oh, what did I do today?
Exactly. But I'm looking at you going, you're so cute. And I want my hair up in a bun. So yes, I love that. You're not a narcissist if you are self-critical. Like this is just part of the human condition.
It is. Like, congratulations, you're human. We all are. Let's move on.
Yeah. And we all can be really hard on ourselves. And that's okay.
Very. Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So, okay. So I need to up my game. Okay. So one thing that we, for my audience, you guys know this, we've launched MiloTreeCart. It is the easiest way to sell digital products to your audience. And what we're seeing on the back end, if you can sell products where you are showing up live or with people, like in a membership, in coaching, in a workshop, like these are the people who are killing it. Because I think you and I were just talking about this, that the pandemic, it kind of made us all go into our own corners.
Yeah.
And while you and I were saying, as introverts, it's not that bad because it's like, I never really liked that party. I do also think there is a downside to that, which is we need that connection.
Mm-hmm. We call this experiential marketing, and that's part of the reason why I come out and do podcasts and do talks and groups and stuff is because if people hear me and can experience what it's like to work with me, they will work with me. But if they read my website or if they, read my emails, like that is such a longer game versus literally just meeting with someone and spending 30 minutes. Like my closing rate is like that, so it is a very different thing. You have to bring yourself because really we have so many options now. If you're not being you, I don't want to work with you because I don't, I can pick someone who's actually going to show up and be themselves. And I know what I'm getting.
And also I would say this, all the information you need is out there. Go to YouTube. Like you want to do something. I want to learn marketing. Hey, I don't have to pay for a course. I don't have to pay for a coach. I could just go to YouTube. However, why I would step up and pay is because I connect with Lauren. I connect with her vibe. She's going to explain it to me. She's going to get me up that hill faster than if I have to sift through 30 YouTube videos and trying to figure out, do I trust this person, or maybe this information is older. So
and
it's
outdated and what's changed. And
people buy from people. People want to work with people. And that is so powerful. But all the information, like Lauren, you're not sharing stuff I've not heard before. I'm not sharing stuff you haven't heard before. Like we're not like curing cancer, finding some major discovery.
Here's the thing that was like the biggest shocker for me in business. I think I was somewhere between the 3 and 5 year mark. And I was like, oh, nobody knows. Like I thought that there was some big social media handbook that special people had. And they were like, I have the answer. And that's why they were able to say, oh, you must post every day, or, oh, you must do whatever you've heard. And I was like, nobody freaking knows. It is all about testing and tracking and seeing what works and watching what they're telling us is happening and then interpreting that and trying new things. That's it. Nobody knows. Even I always say, the information I'm giving you is the best of my knowledge as of this moment in time. Right. And it's going to change tomorrow.
And it's going to be different for your business and somebody else's business.
Yes. And that's the beauty of when I work with people, like, what is going to work for, I always love to use Bob. Bob is a man in his, 60s, and he has an olive oil and vinegar store, and he just loves to help people eat really healthy with these fabulous ingredients. And what works for Bob and his audience, who are these very rich ladies about town, yes, does not work for my financial coach. It is a very different program that we use for her social media than we use for his social media, because we're looking at different audiences. They're different people. They have different things they're selling. So it's very tailored. Like, you really get to have a tailored experience for yourself on social media. So if you're like, I don't want to be posting every day, great. Let's figure out how we can create a plan for you so you don't have to post every day, because you don't have to.
I have gotten so much great feedback on the ebook I'm giving away on how you can write an ebook using ChatGPT. People keep contacting me and telling me how helpful this has been. So don't miss out. Grab yours. Go to MiloTree.com/AI ebook. And honestly, you can have an ebook from start to finish in less than 3 hours. So again, go to MiloTree.com/AI EBOOK. And now back to the show. I want to get the biggest bang for my buck right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to be able to have a plan that I can stick to.
Yes. Yes.
Tell me what the minimum is I need to do to start to attract the people that are my people. So it's not necessarily I want to grow followers, although that might be part of the process. Ultimately, I want to grow my business, which means money.
Yes. And that's the key. So a lot of people are giving you advice focused on follower growth or likes or whatever that is. And those are nice things to have, but they are vanity metrics. So we want to focus on what is the thing in your business that you're actually trying to achieve on social media. And so if it is selling something, right, we need to know, okay, I want to sell my cookbook. Therefore, if I'm on Instagram and my goal is to sell my cookbook, I need clicks off of Instagram to my site. That is my goal, right? Mm-hmm. So what is going to help me get clicks from Instagram to my site? Reels are nice, but they're more going to grow followers than actually create clicks. We don't see a lot of conversion off of clicks, although you do need them as part of your
Reels. Plan. That's interesting.
Yeah. Reels, I like to say, are like the big image on a bus driving by, you know, for the new show on FX. And you're like, oh, that looks really interesting. I don't then run home and turn on my TV.
No.
Right? Mm-hmm. You just in the back of your mind, you're like, oh yeah, that show looks cool.
I saw that. Yeah. Like if it shows up again, you go like, oh.
Yeah.
You're scrolling by that. Yeah.
You know, a month later, you're like, what are we going to watch? Oh, I know there's that thing on FX, right?
Yeah.
I don't know why FX is my example, but here we go. So that's Reels, and they're at the top of the funnel, bringing people down. But where people really get to know, like, and trust you on Instagram in 2 places. One is in that main feed content. So using a carousel to describe a point, going live. Oh my gosh, you all, going live. If I could get more people to go live, it is so underused, and it's something that really gets people to understand you and get to know you better. Single photos are some of the,
because I feel like our photos dead. Photos aren't dead.
Not at all. Literally just yesterday, I did a 3-month audit with a former client, and 2 of their top performing 9 posts were a single photo.
Interesting.
Single photo.
Not even a carousel.
So, not even carousel, not even like anything special. It's just a photo. One of it was him holding a coffee cup, and the other one was the 4 top members of their team together on like a building thing. Like, again, we have to see your face. We have to be engaged with you. So then we're coming down the funnel. Reels were at the top. Those carousels, those main photos are in the center. Video, if you can go live, and then your stories. If we can get behind the scenes, your food bloggers that we've been talking about, right? Like sharing just, you know, the mess that you've made in your kitchen when you've been cooking, or the peek at like, I can't wait to show you what this is going to be, you know, when you're creating that beautiful reel that's going out. But those behind the scenes moments really get people involved with you. And so that's the number one place. If you can be really active in your stories, it's a huge conversion space.
Interesting. Okay. Because it was funny yesterday when I was talking to the food bloggers, and we were talking about like, should you create a course? And I'm kind of nah on that because I think you spend too much time creating the course and not validating the course up front. And I was saying that people are very forgiving when you show up live with them because you're real. And I was joking because I was drinking my water and I'm like, right now, if I spill this water on me, like you're going to go, oh no, she spilled the water on, here, like, I wish I could hand her a napkin through the Zoom call, like it versus if this is in a course and it's a video in a course and I'm spilling water on myself, you're like, you got problems. Like,
we're like, I don't know that I should be listening to this lady.
Exactly. Like she looks like a mess, but something about doing it live and being like, oh, I'm spilling water, it elicits something very different. And I kind of feel like what you're talking about, the difference between say a story and a reel is about that. Like the reel is the kind of poster that you've spent time optimizing and adding.
And you absolutely need it. I don't want you to say like, I'm never making reels again, but I would love, like, I think all social media, when you're creating your social media plan, 50% of the time you spend should be on creating fabulous content. Absolutely. I'm not sitting here saying put out terrible content and move on with your day. Like it should be really good content. But the other 50% of the time should be spent on engagement. It should be spent on actually connecting with the people that are connecting with you, because that's how you truly grow and how you truly get those people to click on that cookbook.
Okay, so let's talk about that then. First of all, I have to tell you, you just saying that about like, you got to be, it kind of made me agitated. Like, shoot.
Okay, great.
Like, let's calm it down. Let's calm it down.
Let's talk about that. Like, what is it that came up for you?
So I want you, if you can, to tell me, what does that mean? So in a week,
great content.
Well, in a week, how much great content, like all of a sudden you said great. And I'm like, oh, shoot, like we got to raise the bar here. I feel more comfortable, say, doing the Instagram story or even going live than I do about the super polished stuff. Like, what if I go, well, you know what? I'm just going to go live once a week.
Fantastic. You go live once a week? Oh my gosh. Fantastic. Now, we still need other elements. Okay, so let's say we're building this for you. Let's just get specific here. Going live for you is super easy. If you can go live once a week, amazing. Let's start with that. Then I would love to see you from that live take one lesson, right? Like, what is the thing that you're talking about in the live? And go deeper into it with either a carousel or a photo, right? And then because we want to get your message out to more people, twice a month, let's put out a reel.
Okay.
That's your content plan. And be in your stories. Be in your stories 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, or if you work Thursday through Wednesday, whatever it is you work. You know, I'm not saying be there every day, but be in your stories and be active there as well.
Wow. Okay. That feels more doable. The 5 times a week in the stories feels a little overwhelming. Can I do 3 times?
Yes.
Can I negotiate with you?
Here's the deal. I'm all about like, let's figure out how much time you have and where your comfort level is, because I know even if you started with, I'm going to do stories 1 day a week, your comfort level in 3 months is going to be so much better. And you're going to be like, I can do 2 days a week.
Okay.
Actually, I'm going to show up, like,
I got something to say. Yeah, I'm here.
Exactly.
Okay.
Like, and so this is, again, we are looking at a marketing plan over time.
Yep.
I don't want you to, normally when you hear this advice, like you have to put out a reel every day, you have to put out content. That's coming from people who are social media managers, who myself and my team, and again, I have a team of 9 people. We work 40-hour weeks minimum. You know, like I will say my team works 40. I'm working more like 60 hours a week, you all. You don't have 40 to 60 hours a week to spend on your social media.
No.
You are also not an influencer.
Right.
Right? That's not
and maybe
your
you're
goal.
not an extrovert. I'm not an actor.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's not your goal to be the next, person who's selling coffee, whatever coffee cup thing. You have an actual business with a goal in mind. And so the advice you hear normally is specifically routed through those people who are doing those things. You are an entrepreneur, you are a blogger, you own your business. So you are a baby marketer. And so we have to start out with a plan that is absolutely doable, that you're like, I can commit to this for 3 months. And then at the end of 3 months, you go, that felt fine. Maybe I do
And I'm seeing,
one more
let's
reel.
say I got a client. Let's say I got a sale. Let's say,
Yes.
you know, I'm starting to figure that also I'm getting better at it, or I'm getting less self-conscious, or who knows. But I do believe you would get better if you did this for 3 months.
Like, let's all remember when we learned to ride a bike. I don't know about anybody else, but I didn't jump on the bike and take off one day. You know, like there was steps and I felt a little bit more comfortable. I broke my arm while I still had my training wheels on, you know, but I got back on. There are ups and downs that you're going to have. You will be better in 1 year at anything you start today. Anything at all.
Let's talk about this. So I've created this content. Then there's always that idea of like repurpose. Is that true? Because also every platform is different and kind of like different kind of content.
Totally.
What do you recommend in terms of repurpose?
So again, we're focusing on, if you are like feeling overwhelmed and you're just getting started, I don't even want you to worry about the other platforms. Like, absolutely, as a business owner, you should jump on and grab every platform with your business name.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
That should be the first thing you do. But what I recommend is, I call it your hero platform. Instagram's my hero platform. It's the platform that I'm on and that I choose to spend my time on. Every other platform you have should have a post pinned to the top or a message somewhere that says, hi, I'm not on here very much. If you want to learn more about me, go check out Instagram and have your handle, right? So let's remove that, because again, you're not going to be able to start on Instagram and have Facebook plus your YouTube channel and a TikTok. Like that is an unrealistic expectation, unless you hire a company like Little Shameless Plug and we do that for you.
Okay.
But every single platform, I like to, you know, they're different games. We're not going to take the rules of Chutes and Ladders to play Monopoly. That would be insane, and you wouldn't have any fun, you know? So we have to really understand the platform that you're on. And once you're seeing the sales, so once you're seeing your goal happen on that platform, then you can be like, okay, I think I'm ready to add a second platform. Or maybe you're like, this platform's working so well, I'm just going to lean in more to what I'm doing and up my sales here. You know, for solo businesses, for solopreneurs, having everything everywhere, you are in business. You're not a marketing genius as your business, you know, like, even myself, I run a company. That's why I have one platform, and it's not, even that is not great. Right. You know, like I'm focused on my customers and my clients and helping that thing flow. So marketing is part of your business, but it shouldn't be your end all be all of life.
Let's talk about then using, say, Instagram as a way to reach out, a way to have conversation. Because I feel like we've gotten to like, okay, here's how you're going to post or what you're going to do. But then you were saying it's all about the connection.
Yes. So here's the thing that's happening in the social media world, right? When social media started, and I think everybody still feels a lot about this, is like, oh my gosh, you're just going to post and all of these clients are just going to come at you. It's just going to be a river of clients. Great. That's not the way it works anymore. So as I was saying, I talked about those 3 platforms, YouTube, Pinterest, and LinkedIn, that are my secret converters. They have higher conversion rates of moving people off the platform. Instagram and even those platforms, they're all really community builders. They're a space where you are going deeper and deeper with that community, and it's about connecting people. It's really a social platform. And the benefit to your company is that when people really, really know you and you have that trust and affinity with them, when you're ready to sell to them, they want to sell. But you shouldn't rely 1,000% on Instagram to get your sales. Like, if you don't have a newsletter list as well, if one of your goals is not to move people from Instagram onto that newsletter list, because that's where people are really going to buy from you, you're not looking at the marketing overall plan correctly. So will you have sales just on Instagram? Absolutely. But I want you to think of it more as the waiting room. You know, where you kind of like.
That's interesting, because it was funny. I interviewed a YouTuber, and she had this like unbelievable funnel where it was like she created helpful content on YouTube. So that would be like how to grow your social media or how to grow your YouTube channel, right?
Yeah.
And it wasn't so much about her, although her like background looked good. And she was, you totally, if you're like a female wanting to grow a business, you would totally like want to, watch her videos. But then she would say, hey, if you want to learn more about me, go to Instagram. Because on Instagram, she was selling herself. Here are behind the scenes. Here are, so it would be helpful, but it was more personal, like personal in a professional sort of way. Like it's not like she's sharing her deep, dark secrets or her, her children, but she was much more like kind of here's the behind the scenes and I'm setting up for a new video and blah, blah, blah. Or, hey guys, like, what do you want me to be talking about? But that's where she would be doing that. And then from Instagram, she would send people to her newsletter. And then her newsletter was where you were a real insider. And that's where she would say, hey, I just discovered this thing called ClickFunnels. And you should use ClickFunnels, or you should use Airtable, or and most of her revenue, or you should buy my course, or my, come join my membership. And I was so impressed with the fact that she understood what each step was for.
Yeah. That's a brilliant marketing plan. That's absolutely how you should be using this whole situation, because the reason why Little Shameless Plug isn't just a social media platform anymore is I was working with my full service clients doing just Instagram or just Facebook. And I would be like, okay, great. They're ready to buy. We need to send them to give them a lead magnet, give them, or send them to a landing page to sign up for your newsletter. And companies weren't equipped to be able to have those pieces set up. That's why I expanded my company, because I was like, online marketing, the social media part is that space where people get ready to buy. They're in the process, but we have to move them onto your newsletter list. We have to move them in to really get that profit churning for you.
And what I think is interesting is that you, as a social media expert, are saying you're going to get most of your sales on email.
Absolutely.
Like that, again, I think that people don't always get that message because they think I'm just growing my Instagram. And that's a job in and of itself. And you can see your progress. But as you were saying, those are vanity numbers. That's not dollar signs.
Exactly.
And I weirdly think Instagram can be such an ego boost that we can, or it can also make you feel awful. But again, like you're like, I got new followers but that's not going to put food on your table. And I think sometimes people get confused about that. Yeah. I'm growing my business because I got 10 followers.
Yeah.
Or I got this many views. And it's like, no, remember, you got to keep like funneling people to like the money.
I love that you said, so I recently coached someone who was like, the algorithm hates me. It just hates me. It won't share my things. Like I used to get shared and now I'm not shared anymore. And this was an Instagram person. And so I met with her and we went through all of her content. And I was like, one, things have changed since you had these big numbers in your algorithm, right? When you saw these big peaks on some reels you shared, which love this person, but they weren't even really that big. It was like 5 to 10,000 views, but for her, she was like, great. Why don't we just try and focus on these? She had like 1,300 followers. I was like, what if we just focus on these people? She had about 30 people that were actually commenting and like responding to things she was doing on a day-to-day basis. And so we turned her focus from, oh my God, I can't put out a reel that's doing things, to be like, okay, these 30 people did respond. And she was just started engaging with those people. And it totally changed because she was putting out a mini workshop and she needed these people to buy that mini workshop, right? And so she just focused on those 30 people, and her numbers, her views started going up because those people then felt even more engaged and were coming back to the content and watching it again and sharing it with friends. And then she started growing again. So you can't be focused on, I didn't hit this like 10,000 views. Let's focus on those 30 people that actually are engaged with you, because I don't know about you, but I can only serve maximum 30 clients in a year.
Yeah.
I don't need more than that. I don't
Yeah.
want more than that, you know? So you have to think about what is your actual goal we keep saying this,
Totally.
you
So
know?
now tell me then about engagement. So what did you say to her? Like, okay, these are the people who are commenting. So what?
Yeah.
Comment back or
Yeah. So I actually have a free resource. I call it the Daily Fit. It's your daily Facebook, Instagram, Twitter engagement. And the reason I created this video is because I believe in as little as 5 minutes a day. Like once you get this habit ingrained in you, like really you can spend as little as 5 minutes a day doing this process to build your engagement. And it's a 3-step process. The first step is review. Jump in and be like, where am I in the story of my social media account? So we keep talking about Instagram. So we're going to go there. Like, what was my last post? Because maybe it's been a week since you've been on Instagram. Like, I don't know when you've been on here again. Where am I in my stories? What is going on? So that you know what other people are seeing, right? So review. Then your second step is to respond. And if you are a baby account, if you're like, oh, I have some likes and maybe 2 comments, part of that response phase is going to be actually responding to the people who've liked your content. Your mom, maybe we don't need to respond to your mom, but like those other people that you're like, I don't know who you are and you don't look like a bot and you've liked 3 of my posts, reach out and be like, hey, thank you so much for liking my souffle post. I feel like I'm posting into a void and it just means a lot. And they'll be like, oh my gosh, yeah, I need to go back and watch that because I wanted to know about whatever. What kind of eggs do you use? Like it'll start conversations. So respond is the second phase. And yes, you're going to respond to likes, you're going to respond to comments. Every single new follower who is someone who is a target in your niche, you should also reach out to them, check out their profile, comment on some of their stuff. I'm not saying follow them right away. In fact, I don't recommend you follow them right away because I don't know about you, but if I'm at a party, I don't immediately give someone my phone number. We need to get to know each other a little bit, see if we like each other. And then the final step is we've reviewed, we've responded, and then we're going to reach out to new circles who aren't already seeing your content. And what this means is you're going into any search function on whatever platform you are, and you're searching for topics that your audience is looking for. So I, as someone who does social media, if I'm searching social media, all I'm going to see is other social media managers.
Right.
So what I look for are coaches, because that's my consulting business is primarily that. I look for entrepreneur, fempreneur, solopreneur, and I look for that content. And if I see something that I resonate with, I comment on it. I'm not doing that weird thing that people do where they like 10 posts and follow you. Don't do that. That's inauthentic. But really see oh, this is interesting. Leave a comment because what's that showing the algorithm is that I'm here to play, right? If I'm a good guest at this party, I'm putting out stuff. I've brought a little dish for the party and I'm also going to be engaged with the other people here so that they're going to be like, oh, this person, look, they commented over here. Maybe more of these people will like that. And they're going to start feeding your content into these other areas. So that's why engagement is so important. Review, respond, reach out.
I think that is and that feels doable.
Yeah, it is
really doable.
It is. And it's like I said, you don't need to spend all day. And this is also the reason why I created this is back when I was a baby social media manager and I went from 2 clients to 4 clients, I was spending all day in the feed. I was scrolling, I was immediately responding to everything. And I was like, I can't do this. This isn't possible. And so I created this process because I was like, if I can focus and really do the pieces that I know the algorithm needs, then I get to walk away and know that I've done the good work and I'm not just scrolling and wasting time because that's literally what you're doing. If you are just sitting there scrolling and look, I love to scroll. I love to watch dog videos and for some, I don't have children, but I love mom videos, like moms who are like, this is the thing today. That's all my feed is dogs and moms. But that's enjoyable, but that's not moving my business forward.
Yes. Okay, Lauren, I have learned so much from you. And I feel like you've broken it down and you've given me really good action steps and you've made it not overwhelming.
That's my favorite part.
I could see your smile. I saw that.
Yeah.
You were like, yes, I achieved my goal. You
Yeah.
made it doable. And I
Mhm.
think that I talk a lot about this idea called B minus work, because I think that we hold ourselves to a crazy standard of perfection. Perfection is not
Mhm.
profitable, and B minus work is doable. It's where you learn, and it's above average. So I'm not
Yeah.
saying do crappy work,
Yeah.
but I am saying do achievable work. And I feel
Yeah.
like that is what you're saying as well.
Absolutely. As a recovering perfectionist, I always say I live in the messy middle. I'm just a messy middle here doing my best every day.
I
You know,
love
if
that.
that's how we can show up and do these things, great. Like
Yeah.
whatever you got to do.
I love that. Well, Lauren, if people want to reach out to you and work with you, where should they go?
Find me on Instagram. It's like I said, it's my place. I'm there, you know, checking it Monday through Friday. So on Instagram, I'm at lauren.litt, Litt. And you can also grab that daily fit that I just talked about, that daily video series that teaches you your engagement strategy right there on my platform.
Wonderful. Well, I have to just say, I'm so glad we're friends. And
Yes,
thank you for coming on the show.
absolutely. Anytime.
I hope you guys like this episode. Again, you can tell what a fan I am of Lauren's, and especially her strategies, which feel very doable. And it's funny, when I'm on calls with people talking about selling digital products, let's say somebody doesn't have an audience or a built-in group of people that will buy from them, what I say is go door to door. Go into Facebook groups, go on to Instagram, go start interacting, go make those one-on-one connections, because those will become your true fans. Those will become your customers. And that's exactly what Lauren talks about. So it's not about your overall follower count. Those are vanity numbers. It's really about connecting as a real person to another real person. Again, if you want to see how easy it is to sell your own products and services with help and guidance from my team and me, go check out MiloTreeCart. Go to MiloTree.com. Read all our testimonials. Those are real people having real success. And for a limited time, we are offering MiloTreeCart for a lifetime deal. So you buy it once, own it forever. Oh, and we have a 3-month installment plan. If you're interested, just email me at Jillian@MiloTree.com and I'll send you the link for that. But we're only offering the lifetime deal for this introductory period. Then eventually we will go to a monthly plan. But this way you get to own it forever. You are one of our founding members. You get all future features rolled in, and there's no risk because we offer a 30-day, no questions asked, money back guarantee. I only want you to own it if you love it. Again, get on a call with me. Go to milotree.com/meet. I'd love to meet you, and I will see you here again next week.